You saw your important someone in danger, so you committed murder, right?
Is that true?
I am so sorry for making such a mess. Because of that, I made all of you assume something unnecessary.
Unnecessary?
You saying I'm wrong? This everyone you're talking about?
It is all of you, of course.
Really? Do you swear, Tua?
Yes, really. So please believe me, I am not the culprit. I do not care what becomes of me, but I will not allow any of you to die. Because I made a promise to Kaede. She wished for all of us to escape together.
If she's lying, that is cold as fuck.
I want to fulfill my duties as the ultimate maid. I wish to serve everyone.
I mean, I remember she was talking to Kaede before, but if she's just dropping her name to drop suspicion of her, that is really messed up.
So please believe me. You have to!
Kirumi!
Are we totally sure Kirumi's the culprit? Maybe it's someone else. Are we sure Kokichi isn't the culprit?
How rude.
Gonta just can't believe Kirumi would kill Ryoma.
Kirumi's breakfasts were the best. She always treated us so well. She really is like a mom.
Perhaps it was after she gained our trust that she saw her chance to strike.
You really are screwed up.
Screwed up from head to toe. Even through your clothes, I can tell.
Shuichi, please reconsider suspecting me as the culprit. You only suspect me because I was at the gym during nighttime yesterday, correct? But you cannot accuse me of being the culprit with that insufficient proof. It is still possible for Maki and Kaito to have gone to the gym. They do not have alibis. They could have pretended to help Himiko, but secretly prepared the murder.
When you put it that way, it does seem possible.
We can't accuse Kirumi just based on our alibis.
Guys, maybe suspecting Kirumi is wrong.
Yeah, maybe we should think it over one more time.
I made a promise. As the ultimate detective, I made a promise to seek the truth. I made a promise to Kaede, so I'm not turning back now.
They're scared. They're scared that they have to accuse one of the friends of murder. So it's up to me. I have to do it. I'll use my detective work to prove it.
So you still believe I am the culprit? But there is no evidence to indicate that I am—
No, there is. I have proof that you're the culprit. I realized it when we determined that the rope weight was used to move the body. If it was indeed Kirumi who moved the body with a makeshift rope weight, then the final clue falls into place.
The final clue?
The damning evidence that proves Kirumi is the culprit.
Do we have that? We've yet to use the black piece of fabric for anything at all. I was assuming that the black piece of fabric would just be... Oh... If you consider this could have been ripped off from either Ryoma or let's assume Kirumi was on here. Excuse me for burping and stuff, apologize. Then this could have been a cloth ripped off from Kirumi's dress or her skirt.
Shuichi, won't you please tell me why you are so desperate to pin me as the culprit? Don't you want to protect everyone?
I'm doing this because I want to protect everyone. Shuichi.
Then you're wrong. Your deduction is all wrong.
Your words aren't going to convince me now. Not when I know the truth.
What truth? All you care about is your own reasoning. You don't even listen to others. I can't bet everyone's lives on a deduction made by a self-righteous brat. You can't save anyone!
No more doubts. I'm confident I'm right. I'm going to present everyone the evidence that proves she's guilty. It has to be it, right? Yeah, this has to be it, right?
This is it!
Okay, it is. Oh my god. I was getting confused there.
The piece of black fabric in the pool. That's the final clue that proves you're guilty. It's been bothering me for a while. I couldn't figure out what it was.
At first I thought it was actually a piece of clothing from Ryoma. But he's not like he wore really loose clothing or anything. So the way Kirumi responds is what gives me it just kind of gives it away for me personally. Because at first I only have assumptions. The way we respond to it, that's what, that's like, oh, it must have been.
I thought it was just trash at first, but I couldn't dismiss it entirely. Now that the class trial has come this far, I know for certain. It's an important piece of the puzzle. Because like the inner tube, it's evidence the culprit couldn't dispose of.
Huh? Why not?
Using the ropeway, you could slide the inner tube from the lab to the gym. But how would you control it? If it kept sliding and hit the window, the momentum would have thrown the body off. To prevent that from happening, the culprit needed some way to adjust the speed. For example, the culprit could have used their hands for friction.
Yeah, so what?
Looks like her glove.
You're still wrong. Your logic is flawed.
Kirumi, why are you becoming increasingly erratic?
There is such absolute beauty in trying to fight against the truth.
What? Truth. That black cloth is just trash. You can't prove I'm the culprit with just that.
No, it's not just trash. It's proof that you're the culprit.
Finding out how the black fabric fits into this is the key to everything. Make it all clear now. Argument, arrangement. Alright, let's do this.
You are incorrect. What is this truth?
Damn it.
That is just your empty deduction. You continue to
There we
confuse
go.
everyone. You are
There we go.
incorrect.
Now I'm remembering this.
What is this truth?
Okay.
That is just your empty deduction.
God damn it.
You continue to confuse
There
everyone.
we go. I got it.
In this class trial, everyone's life
Shit.
is at stake. Because of your self-righteous truth, everyone might die. In
There we
this
go.
class trial, everyone's life is at stake. Because of your self-righteous truth,
Gotta time it right.
everyone might die.
There we go.
In
Good.
this class trial, I completely
there.
understand your reasoning, but I will
Shit.
never accept it. It seems you wish to pin me as the culprit. You do not have any
What?
evidence. You are only
Apparently I'm
providing
messing
us
up so
with
bad.
speculation. You only wish to protect everyone. Why must
Okay,
you
there we go.
interfere? I completely understand your reasoning, but I will never accept it. It seems you wish to pin me as the culprit. You do not have any evidence. You are only providing us with speculation. You only wish to protect everyone.
There we go.
Why must you interfere? I completely understand your reasoning.
Got it. Final blow.
What does that piece of trash prove?
Got it.
It
Kill
ends
results.
here.
Got it. We got it. Oh my god. I did not expect Kuma to be so lewd in the end there,
piece
but
of fabric came from Kirumi's black glove.
okay.
Kirumi's glove?
If the culprit were slowing their descent by grabbing the rope with their hands, there would have been a lot of friction, easily enough to cause rope burn. But our culprit was smart. They weren't burned because they weren't bare-handed.
Yeah, the culprit had gloves on. One got all torn up from the friction and
it fell into pool?
From what I remember, the only one who wears black gloves is Kirumi, right?
The gloves on your hands now. I take it they're from your dorm?
The extra uniforms in our rooms are made of the same material we're wearing now. We can test my theory by comparing the fabric scrap with your glove.
Well, Kirumi, will you allow us to compare the black fabric we found in the pool with your gloves?
Huh? What's the matter? Why are you sweating so much?
Kirumi, what's wrong?
In the end, I'm just like them. I'm scared of revealing the truth. Because it means that someone has to be sacrificed. But Kaede was scared too. She didn't let that stop her. She thought things through the end. I faced the truth. I doubted it and kept thinking and kept going. This is where it led me, and I won't turn away from it.
I will show you the truth.
Closing argument. Okay. Just to clarify, I'm really shocked as well. I'm really shocked as well why that happened. Every part of me was from the beginning, at first, with a very terrible bias, I blamed at Kaito. Because Kaito seemed to know these kind of things a little bit more. He's the one that knew about the fish tank and how it would work with the piranhas. He's the one that knew about that the cable for the tennis net would be 50 meters long. But the thing that Kaito doesn't have, that only very few people in this particular case have, is this ability to analyze things to the nth degree, be able to be very calculative about it. Kaito has the smarts to be, to become an astronaut, but he doesn't have the ability to plan things out the way that some particular people in this case can, kind of like Kurumi can. Kurumi is one of the few that is able to meticulously plan things out in such a manner, in such a way that you'll be able to be almost on point and recreate a perfect crime. And a perfectionist, mind you. She is a perfectionist if you really look at how diligent and how accurately, how hard she works at things to be almost near perfect. That'd be the only reason why she would do it. And as somebody who knows the layout of the place, was able to set these things up ahead a little bit, blending in within the crime itself. It'd be extremely easy for her to get away with it. But now we gotta go ahead and put everything back together. Alright, what do we got here? We got 10 pages in total. Let's see what we got here so far with our stock. Friction on the glove. Let's see here. Handcuff victim. Should probably go to the friction on the glove aspect. Let's go to the friction on the glove aspect and see what we can do. Take it from the pool. Nope. What was used to transport the body on a ropeway? Yep, there we go. That was the wrong thing. Hitting the brakes was tougher than expected. Oh, friction on glove. There we go. That's what it was. Okay, that's what it is. Why am I acting so stupid right now? Now the stock opened up. Jim's window frame and rope. What was the use to transport the body on a ropeway? Nope, we don't have that. What was taken from the pool? We don't have that in particular. Where was the body carried to? What can we work with? Carry the rope, handcuff victim. We probably should go to the handcuff victim, shouldn't we? Let's go back to this part over here. Before the murder, what was put on the victim's wrist? The handcuffs. There we go. Carrying the rope. Let's go back over here a little bit. What was the gym rope tied to? Nope. Oh yeah, the gym rope was tied to over here. No, that's the wrong thing. Shit! I got the wrong thing. God damn it. There you go. I thought it was one step ahead. My bad. Okay, let's go to the carrying of the rope here. What is partition of piranha tank? Then long item Culprit took from the gym. That would be the rope. Good. What else we got here? Piranha tank lid was put over here as a partition. Evidence of main metal piranhas didn't eat. That'd be the handcuffs. Metal handcuffs in the water. Yep. That's what we got. Rubber inner tube. We have to find the rubber inner tube and see where it can be placed over here. What was taken from the pool? Rubber inner tube. There you go. And then we got a couple more actions here. What was used to transport the body to Norway? The tube. We got the last one finally. Right here. Piranhas swarming the tank.
This is the truth of the case!
Let's go.
The victim's body was found this morning during Himiko's underwater escape act. When we saw the piranhas in the tank, we thought that Himiko's escape failed. Of course, it was all part of the act. Himiko's escape went perfectly. But when Angie opened the curtain in front of the tank, we saw Ryoma with piranhas swarming around him. Before any of us could react, the piranhas devoured Ryoma's body. And all that was left were his bones and the handcuffs he was wearing. That horrifying sight was the finishing touch on the culprit's own twisted magic trick. The culprit obfuscated the time and place of the murder, implicating Himiko in the process. In truth, the crime began last night around 8:55 p.m. While preparing for the show in the gym, the culprit had a chance to be alone. It was then that the culprit used the ladder to reach the piranha tank and removed the glass lid to put inside the tank. They used it as a partition to force the piranhas to one side of the tank. Next, the culprit took the rope from the stage wing in the gym and used the ladder once more, this time to climb up to the gym's window. Once there, they opened the window and tied one end of the rope to the window frame. The rope was then thrown out the window toward the pool. These preparations were key for the culprit's elaborate plan. At nighttime, past midnight, the culprit asked Ryoma to meet at his lab. All the pieces were in place. The culprit was ready to murder. First, the culprit knocked Ryoma out, probably striking him from behind. Then, they put the handcuffs from the shower room on Ryoma's wrists. And shoved his head into the sink filled with water. From the water and the pain of drowning, Ryoma should have woken up and struggled. The culprit anticipated his resistance, which is why Ryoma was handcuffed. The struggle left scrapes on the cuffs and sink, but in the end, Ryoma succumbed. Ryoma was dead, but the culprit's plan had only just begun. They removed the cable from the tennis net and hung it from the window facing the pool. And then, at the pool, they connected the wire and the rope from the gym window. They returned to the lab after picking up one last thing. The rubber inner tube that was in the pool's tool shed. Once back in the lab, the culprit pulled the cable, bringing up the rope. They pulled until the rope was taut, then tied it to the lab's window frame. And thus, the gym and the lab windows were connected by a single rope. After making a hanger of sorts with another length of rope tied to the inner tube, they hung the inner tube on the rope connecting the windows. That's how the culprit created the ropeway that was used to move the body. An impressive premeditated murder, but the culprit made two crucial mistakes. The culprit got on the inner tube with Ryoma's body and slid toward the gym. With the height difference between the windows, they would have built up quite some speed. To avoid crashing through the window, the culprit used a brake. They used their own hand to grip the rope and slow down. That would have caused significant rope burn had the culprit not been wearing gloves. But due to the friction, part of a glove tore off and dropped in the pool. Regardless, the culprit reached the window and put Ryoma's body into the piranha tank. The glass pane not only kept the piranhas and the body separated, it also kept the piranhas so close together, they concealed the body. After that, all the culprit had to do was untie the rope and the inner tube. But that's when they made their second mistake. One end of the rope came loose, and the inner tube dropped into the pool. Thus, the culprit was forced to leave two key pieces of evidence, the fabric and the inner tube. They couldn't retrieve the evidence because of the rule against swimming at nighttime. And that's the whole story. Am I wrong, Kirumi Tojo? The ultimate...
Sorry about that one. Kind of pressed A a little accidentally too fast.
Kirumi, that's the conclusion I reached. Do you have any objections?
I gotta say, I kind of wish I would have noticed the weapon that knocked out Ryoma. There's no particular reason for it, but at least it would have showed us that he was assaulted. Because as far as I understood, that he went to take a shower for some reason, maybe in the middle of the night, and then was assaulted in the bathroom. But at the same time, he wouldn't really have a reason to do so otherwise. So he definitely would have been called out for sure. At least I wish we could have at least seen a note or something. I feel like every single case that we're dealing with, something is not being given to us. Something is being tampered with. That's kind of the inclination that I'm giving. Either that, or the developers decided to take a different approach to the game, where they're not talking more about the actual cases rather than showing the details and the meticulous meticulous-ticities? I don't know. Is that really a word I want to use? Anyway, it just felt like there was some pieces missing, but otherwise that was really well planned. This difficult case, difficult as hell, Jesus.
This is very, very unfortunate, Shuichi. My pride as a maid demands that I fulfill every request that I receive.
This also makes me wonder, maybe she was requested to do this by somebody.
But to end like this...
Does that mean
You admit it?
Kirumi.
Why use your own gloves, though? The warehouse should have had plenty.
There weren't any. Obviously, she would have used them if they were available. Jeez, Monokuma provided everything but the gloves. That's pretty sadistic. But thanks to him, at least the game became way more interesting.
So, it's decided.
This case was decided the moment someone, who shall not be named, opened their big mouth.
We don't know that. Maybe the real culprit is someone nobody expects.
I didn't 100% expect them, although I did keep them with suspicion.
That is right. No need to worry.
Oh, Monodum, you're like a mommy taking care of her sick child.
Oh my god.
All right, let's go! The heart-racing excitement as the blackened and the spotless finally face off! It's voting time!
It is a voting time. Voting time. Cast your votes. You have to select. You selected. Whew.
Now then, it seems the voting has finished. Let's see the result.
This game better not pull one of those. Somebody voted for us, huh?
Who'll be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one?
Pretty sure Kirumi might have voted for us there. Well, we got it. Jesus. We got it. We've got it. Got an A as well. Got an A as well. Retry perfect. I'm not sure what you mean by retry perfect. Oh, I guess we didn't have a single retry, so that was a perfect mark there. We did totally well on the case in general. Final result was actually pretty good. We obtained 217 coins because of how well we'd done. I noticed also, right as I'm thinking about this, the second trial in the first and the second game and this game now has evolved somebody blending in within the group for the most part. Somebody that we would not predict to even be. Somebody that blended in, somebody that I would never even anticipate or predict would have been it, if not for very small details, very small, almost to the naked eye, almost unnecessary details. One in particular, Peko. Everything about Peko, everything we learned about Peko in the second game especially, was the very slight trails of suspicion were immediately overwritten by everything else that was happening, everything else that seemed extremely suspicious, but turned out to be very minute. Very minute. Hell, even, let me see if I can pull up Chrome here. Mondo, even Mondo blended in with the rest of the class so well, only for that one particular instance where he was seen carrying a bag. Otherwise, everything seemed so vague, so not consistent, so thin of a trail to follow. But it's again with this third game, when it comes out, the second trial, the second case, you follow the thinnest line in order to get to the truth. So much happening around me, so many distractions, so many assumptions, so many people I can suspect. But the one person that it wasn't But the one person that it was blended in so well until everything started to crumble, until everything started to work itself down. When you start looking at the bigger picture and the realm of possibilities, there will be the only one person. But it's so hard to find it. God damn it. God damn it. Ah, they're repeating the games. They're repeating the games. Maybe it's just me making these vague connections. Maybe just me making these vague connections, but I don't know. I'm sensing them severely, personally.